Do you normally shoot film or digital? If you're like me and you like shooting with both of them, that means owning multiple cameras and potentially lens systems. Oh no, I have to buy more camera gear. But what if you didn't have to choose between film or digital? What if your same camera could shoot both? That's what we have here with the incredibly rare Leica R9 with the digital-modul-r attachment. This originally sold back in 2004 for $6,000. No, not the whole thing. That was just for the digital module. The camera also cost $3,000. And then you might want some lenses, which are some more thousands of dollars. Now, I don't want to get your hopes up. This is not a bargain find today. Good luck finding one to buy. According to one source, there are only about 2,000 of these ever made before being discontinued. They don't come up for sale very often, and when they do, they are extremely expensive. So a big thank you goes out to the viewer of this channel that bravely lent me their copy to share with all of you. Give them a thank you. Now, you may already be familiar with digital backs for medium format film cameras like Hasselblad and Mamiya, but these are only for a select few of medium format cameras, not 35mm film. Early Kodak DSLRs were technically just digital backs slapped onto the back of Nikon 35mm film cameras, but they weren't really sold and designed to be transformed back and forth from digital to film. But the Leica digital-modul-r is unique in this sense. It's the only one that I could find, a digital back designed to be taken on and off of a 35mm film camera. The digital module uses a 10 megapixel APS-C sized CCD sensor, and this is a Kodak made CCD sensor for those that are tracking. And we can actually have a direct look at this sensor by taking off this back much like you would a film back, which is just wild. While I show you how to switch to film mode from digital, let me thank the sponsor of this video, which is Bai. Bai is a website where I buy camera gear directly from Japanese-only listing websites. And I've been using it for over a year now on everything from obscure Japanese-only cameras to getting great deals on cameras and lenses that are just harder to find in the US. I have a whole video explaining how that process works, and I'll link that below. Also, I have a link where you can save some money on your first purchase from Bai, so check that out. And now here's the sensor, right where the film would be. So cool. Most modern APS-C size sensors are somewhere around a 1.5x crop factor, but this sensor is closer to what would be an APS-H crop at 1.37. Practically speaking, that means your field of view is less disrupted when you change from 35mm film to digital. To account for this field of view change, the kit would come with a focusing screen that you would replace with lines that indicate the crop of the digital back, with the whole frame being what you would get when you were shooting film. The original marketing material talks about how the photographer can decide in the moment whether they want to shoot film or digital, and that's kind of true. And then it's funny, even with the digital back on, when you fire a shot, you can hear the whole sequence of the mirror slap, the shutter cocking, and even what sounds like the film winder motor running and winding the non-existent film. It's a very cool sound and definitely unique to this camera. Being that this is the first Leica on this channel, or even that I've ever held, I had high expectations regarding build quality. When you talk to Leica aficionados, that seems to be one of the main arguments for the high price, is they just go above and beyond with build quality. So I have high expectations. And yeah, it's great. Even with the modularity of switching back and forth between film and digital, it doesn't feel hacky at all. All the tolerances are tight when you attach everything. The build quality on each of the parts is very good. The buttons feel good. It's a good feeling camera. If I had to get nitpicky, there are two things I don't like about the camera. The first thing is the viewfinder. Don't get me wrong, the viewfinder itself is lovely. What I don't like is how far back recessed the digital back is, and it just pushes your face away from the viewfinder. This is especially awkward for me because I wear glasses, and this forces me to squish my face up against the camera and smear all over the back screen. That's maybe not a big deal for some, but this next thing is for everyone. The camera with the lens and the digital back attached weighs an astonishing 3 pounds 10 ounces. It's hefty, and it's large, like medium format large. I'm not saying this is inherently a bad thing, but it does get tiring to hold after a while. And it's not a very travel-friendly camera or a stealthy camera for street photography. Okay, I saved the best for last. The image quality is truly excellent. I think it comes down to a combination of an already great Kodak CCD sensor, which doesn't have an anti-aliasing filter, by the way, and then the glass. These Leica R mount lenses are fantastic. It is somewhat limited being an older CCD sensor of this area, especially in high ISO performance. The unit will go up to 800 ISO, but by 400 ISO, I already start to get weird color shifts and mushiness. At base ISO, the lens and sensor pumps out just incredible amounts of detail. In a well-lit scenario, you would have no issue shooting with this setup, and no one would know that this sensor was from 2004. And then if you don't like the weird indoor lighting and you need higher ISOs, you could fall back on your trusty 35mm film stock, a higher speed one, and you have that option, which is so cool. It's the best of both worlds from that era, an era where digital was still proving itself. Okay, I know some of you are pulling up some extra tabs on eBay or Buy to find one of these to buy. So if you are, you should research the battery issues. It's a little bit hard to power some of these older, more obscure proprietary battery systems, so please know what you're getting into before you spend all the money on one of these. Now, normally I would say a rare old camera like this wouldn't be worth the inflated cost. For less, you could buy a better performing camera with less potential problems like old proprietary batteries. But this one is a little bit different in that it's still the only official 35mm film and digital camera combo out there. And it's a Leica. The R9 itself is worth something even if these electronics die. I don't know if that's really a good argument for the price it's going for now, but it does put it in a little bit of a different category than some of the other rare cameras I've been trying. If you like this idea of digitizing your 35mm film camera, you may be in luck. There's a new Kickstarter out there from the I'm Back people. They had a campaign years ago. It didn't work out. I don't really remember what happened. This is for a Micro Four Thirds sensor back that can go on your camera. And then you can have these little focal reducers to help with the crop factor. I don't know. If you want me to review that, it hasn't come out yet, let me know. That might be an interesting thing to put on the channel. I'll see you next time. As always, happy snapping.